Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got another good one lined up for you. Guess what? We're going to talk about a $14 XRP incoming and a 500 plus XRP coming in 2022. Don't believe it. It's still true. There's some real talk about this. We're going to get into that. Also, reminder, we all need to know. We're going to go over that as well. And Bitcoin, I believe, has got another thing coming. We'll get into it. China's digital yuan, G7 and the CBDCs. Is there a settlement in the works behind the scenes for the SEC and Ripple? I don't know, but let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. And I'm back home. You can see I got the intro. I had to go a little low key for the Bitcoin conference while I was out of town. But we're going to fix it up so I can keep the same level of format while I'm out of town. So sorry about that for those that enjoyed the intro. I couldn't believe it how many comments we actually got about that. All right, so here we are, 1.6 trillion plus for the cryptocurrency space collectively. We see Bitcoin 36,000 plus, Ethereum 2,700 plus, Cardano 172 right now, and XRP at the number 7 spot, courtesy of the dereliction of duty and the intimidation tactics by the SEC. We're at 95 cents this morning. We are going to take a look at a couple different technical analysts out here that are making some serious calls, 14 plus in the near term, which really lines up with the 1333 we've heard from Dark Defender as well, in that same price range in the near term, and then a 500 plus XRP in 2022 from someone as well. So we're going to really look at some interesting stuff here today. Let's go ahead and look at the range of XRP, but before we do, guys, jonesing for a treat. Yeah, this is my brother and his wife down in Richmond, Virginia, getting the job done. They have some incredible dog treats. And if your best friend likes treats, try these healthy, natural treats, jonesing for a treat. There is a description. In the description and comment box, there is a discount code. It is DP2021. You can check the link in either of those places. So looking at the range right here today, we are ranging between 93 cents and 97 cents. Again, that 106, 107 line, we need to get above and break through that resistance, which is what it has been up until now. So we need to get above that 106 mark. We get above that, we can start talking about all of these roads that take us to a $13, $14 XRP. And I think it's wise we start looking at those and keep ourselves focused on it. Today's news starts with Hall of Famer DJ Peter Vass here. $3 million digital yuan to be airdropped in Shanghai. This is not the first time they've done a lottery style drop of the digital yuan, and it just goes to show that China is continuing to put pressure to try to remain the leader of the fourth industrial revolution with the launch of their CBDC. Now, with that being said, we have heard and we have said here, and my position here is that, as Jeremy Allaire has said from Circle, he doesn't believe that the U.S. is behind. I don't believe that the U.S. is behind, although the optics certainly look that way. But if you really start to take in count the private stablecoin projects that are going on out here, like USD Coin, I think you could really make a sound argument that the United States and the government, market regulators are very much clued into the game and really taking this from, they always talk about in the early days they wouldn't even work with the public, but now they're talking about public and private relationships to bring together the perfect system for a digital dollar. And I think that's really what Jeremy Allaire was leaning into. Not that I'm trying to speak for him, he's a very smart man, but nevertheless, I do believe the U.S. has got more going on behind the scenes than it appears to be from the front. So this is a reminder from James Rule XRP and myself here that if you don't have some kind of plan in place, God forbid something happened to you or your loved one that controls your crypto portfolio, if you don't have the private keys, there is little hope of heirs of your fortune or your portfolio to ever be able to access it. We don't like to think about these things, but I tell you what, it is wise to think ahead and have some kind of plan in place should there be some unfortunate accident to you or a family member. So it's just a reminder there. So everyone be careful. You don't want to see all this hard work go for naught and no one have access to it. So here we are. Here we look at this. This is more antics from Max Kaiser, and this is really him talking, and I got to give it out to Dr. Parekh here, Patel, who really says this is like 15-year-olds after making their first $100 trading Bitcoin. I want to give you this and just see the attitude of this gentleman who is quickly, and it has been really a what would you say, a brand or a face to Bitcoin. Just listen to this exchange here.
Let me explain something to you right now. Okay, here's a $10 bill. This is garbage. This is garbage. Your people in South Africa, you have your rand, right? That's going to zero. That's going to zero. This is going to zero too. Euros are going to zero. The yen's going to zero. The Chinese currency is going to zero. It's all going to zero against Bitcoin. If you don't understand that yet, you're going to be impoverished. You're going to be on the street. You're going to be begging. You're going to be out of business. You're going to be toast.
Max, do you know that it's a criminal offense to tear up?
Do you know that with the Bitcoin I have, I can buy any freaking senator or congressman I want? I make the laws. He who has the Bitcoin makes the laws, Rand. We're not going to just sit around and let the goddamn congressman tell us what to do. We've got the capital. We make the laws. We've got the Bitcoin. They don't. We got it. They don't. Do you understand?
I got you, Max. I got you.
Okay, now that's a spectacle is what that is, and here's more of it right here.
We're not selling. We're not selling. Fuck Elon. Fuck Elon.
And he keeps hollering and hollering and hollering, and I mean, this really is bad. I mean, if you know, look, I'm a utility maxi, and as long as a coin has use case, I'm for it. If this is what Bitcoin has become from its inception back in 2009 or so, and this is how far you've come, that this is the brand awareness and the face of the product. Oh, I'm sorry, there's more. But let's look here, 1 second, because I know I've got it here. There it is. It was a little out of order. It's the Pizza Boy, right? Now, side by side that from PhDJ here who lays it out. Now, what do you think is going to be chosen? The Pizza Box campaign or Ripple and the fact that they have people like Rosie Rios leaving the Treasury to join their company, which ultimately uses XRP, the native asset, to settle payments, which is also building a private ledger for the central banks to launch their central bank digital currencies. This is not an opinion. Brad Garlinghouse told us this. You know, I acknowledge, and I know that we've heard, I think Novograd say that they recognize that Bitcoin's not really for payments, right? It's a store of value. But the reality is the longer they go with this anti-bank, anti-establishment, you really are bringing, I said this in my earlier video today, I'm going to say it again because it's still news. And sometimes, first of all, there's, 1,200 or more people joining the channel every week. So, and that's a low number compared to what it usually is, right? So the reality is that, with all of the new people joining the channel every week, we have to kind of keep these things that are very important, in the flow of what we cover. And the reality here is that this is a big deal. This is a very, very big deal. We just went to the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world, they said. And I believe them from the amount of people that I saw there. And you think they were talking about, hey, how can we fit into the system so we don't become attacked by governments? Oh, no. No. They double and triple down about anti-government, anti-establishment talk. And I'm going to tell you, this is not good. I even heard Chris Giancarlo say it. Okay? So, there's more to come on this, but I tell you something that, all of this bravado and chest bumping and all of this stuff is really, really immature, and it makes everybody in Bitcoin and Bitcoin look really, really bad. That's for sure. And I'm glad that I'm investing in the things I am, because moving on, when you have people that work at your company that come from the Treasury Department, like Susan Friedman and Michael S. Barr in the past, and Craig Phillips, if he's still there, and I don't think he is, but, and now Rosie Rios. And you see talks like this come on. The G7 edict includes statements for the central bank digital currency. Take a look at this article because we need to see it, okay? Very quick read, and I'm going to read it to you because you're going to want it. G7 finance ministers, along with several international organizations, met past couple of days in the UK to discuss building a strong, sustainable, balanced, inclusive global economy recovery, intermingled amongst the goal of creating global minimum tax of 15%. Listen to this, targeting big tech firms and creating a the global financial system, which is a green global financial system, right, was the statement on central bank digital currencies, or known as CBDCs. The investigation of, and in certain situations, issuance of digital currencies issued by central banks has picked up pace in recent months. The fact that China has already issued pilot digital yuan, a program that continues to expand, and the emergence of stablecoins based on fiat currency have accelerated the recognition that central banks need to speed things up when it comes to the future of money. Most developed countries have internal projects reviewing the benefits and challenges of CBDCs, with particular emphasis on how digital money may impact monetary policy. According to the joint statement, innovation digital money payments has the potential to bring significant benefits, but also raise public policy and regulatory issues. Look at this right here. And this is a quote from the G7. G7 central banks have been exploring the opportunities, challenges, as well as monetary and financial stability implications of central bank digital currencies, known as CBDCs. You guys know that I say that for anybody new moving into the space, so forgive me if you've been here. And we commit to work together as finance ministers and central banks within our respective mandates. On the wider public policy implications, we note that any CBDCs as a form of central bank money could act as both liquid, safe settlement asset and as an anchor for the payment system. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You can highlight that right there because they note that they are going to be the anchor for the payment system just as they are now. So you can scream F Elon, you can scream we're not selling and all of those things, and I think Bitcoin's got a long-term future, but not in the narrative that they're trying to create. In fact, the harder they push this narrative and tear up money in front of your face, the more you're really poking the bear, and you're going to get the wrong side of it at some point. That's for sure. Our objective is to ensure CBDCs are grounded in long-standing public sector commitments to transparency, the rule of law, sound economic governance. CBDCs should be resilient and energy efficient, support innovation, competition, inclusion, and could enhance cross-border payments. They should operate within appropriate privacy frameworks and minimize spillovers. We will work towards common principles and publish conclusion later in the year. It goes on to say, G7s continue to state that no global stablecoin project should begin operation until it adequately addresses relevant legal, regulatory, and oversight requirements through appropriate design and by adhering to applicable standards. We have covered the Financial Stability Board and the work they have done reporting to the G7 and G20 on global stablecoins extensively. There will be something as a global stablecoin. We have heard Benoit Coyer from the BIS and the BIS Innovation Hub refer to a global stablecoin as Diem. So this remains to be seen. We will see what comes out of this thing. Who knows? We'll see what goes on here. The statement may be in reaction to Facebook's failed attempt at create a global non-sovereign currency, once called Libra and now reanimated as Diem, and scaled down digital currency attempting to commence as a digital dollar. The G7 says that they are committed in international cooperation to ensure common standards, including support international standards setting body, reviewing existing regulatory standards, and an emphasis on the importance of addressing identified gaps. Again, they don't want to see a situation where they deal with tax arbitrage and things of that nature, and countries just simply flee to somewhere else and just keep up the same thing that they shouldn't be doing. So we support the Financial Stability Board. There you go. On ongoing work in reviewing regulatory supervisory oversight challenges and implementing high-level recommendations for global stablecoin arrangements. We continue to support the ambitious implementation of G20 roadmap to enhance cross-border payments and welcome the publication of FSB consultation and targets for addressing 4 challenges on cross-border payments, which we've covered here on the channel heavily. In the statement, the Financial Action Task Force standards for stopping money laundering, illicit activity in the global financial system, the G7 states that the implementation of standards remains uneven, calls on members along with FATF-style regional bodies to step things up in the battle of money laundering. All right, so here we go. For me, this is an enormous deal because this is the G7, the top 7 economies of the world and countries of the world discussing stable coins, digital dollars from their banks, and cryptocurrencies. That's what we're talking about here. And that's the narrative of the largest 7 economies in the world. Don't believe it. It's still true. Something very big is coming. I can tell you that. The other way you know that too is because you never hear him talk about it on mainstream media. Yeah, this is from Notorious XRP, who's absolutely a Hall of Famer here. He put together a little collage, and just look at this, because I thought it was done so well as all of the things he puts together. Just check this out and see what's going on, and just see how this plays out here. Here we go.
We're going to have a ferocious crash, because we're going to go to lower, back to 2009 lows or lower. And to do that in that fast a period of time would be probably the sharpest crash we've seen potentially in history. So this is a time to get serious, okay? And we're just going to look at this. And if the markets keep creeping up, and that's what they're doing, and that's what I've been expecting, and most indices, one after another, are making new highs. And a lot of indices may have already peaked, the Russell 2000 and Bitcoin almost for sure looks like it's peaked now. I look at Ripple, looks like it might have more to go. It's a whole different animal now, being the probably ultimate coin, whereas Bitcoin is the ultimate standard. So they're 2 different things. So a lot of things look like they're peaking in succession, and we continue to see indices make slight new highs and not big ones. It does set up for a potential crash. So that's what we're looking for.
Blockchain is a booming industry that Texas needs to be involved in. So I just signed a law creating a master plan for Texas to get involved in the blockchain industry.
Sale, finance opportunities, and so you see a lot of activity around that. Based
Mark
off
Carney,
of Ethereum,
the governor of
Ripple,
England.
other currencies like that, and they may well have a role, but at the core of this,
I just signed a law.
I want you to hear that
creating
again. Sorry
a
for talking
master
over it.
plan for Texas to get involved in the blockchain industry.
Sale, finance opportunities, and so you see a lot of activity around that. Based off of Ethereum or Ripple, other currencies like that, and they may well have a role, but at the core of this,
we're going to change the world. It's just that simple. We didn't ask permission. We came here and we're going to get it done together. And there's simply too many people now. The markets are simply too large. The innovation is simply too vast. It's going to happen. It's no longer a question of if, it's when, and how will these dinosaurs find a way to survive in this new order. I hear a lot about New World Order. Well, guess what? There is one, and it's us. We're changing it all. We're making it a better place.
And there it is. And they really are making it a better place, I believe. And they're going to, especially shout out to Charles Hoskinson, who I got to see at the conference over the weekend. It was really great to catch up with him. I reminded him, what a great job it was that he had done with the interview for Kryptonaires, the movie. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a link in the description and comment box for that. I encourage you guys to absolutely go check out that movie. It has gotten rave reviews, and shout out to Charles Hoskinson for all of his time that he gave to us for that. So moving on, I just want to highlight really quickly here about the settlement issue with Ripple and XRP. Obviously, we know that the SEC now, if you don't know, has been refusing to cough up documents from external to internal communications when it comes to BTC and Ethereum and how they arrived at the decision that those two were not securities. They are refusing to cough up the documents. This is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very big problem. However, over the weekend when the Bitcoin conference was going on, guess what else was going on? This is from the Oracle here. There was a party happening on its own right while the conference was taking place, and it was the Palm Tree Group is what it was here, or Palm Tree Club. And what's interesting here for fun is that the Oracle shares this idea, which I did not know, and it doesn't mean that that's exactly what the Palm Tree Club means, but nevertheless, the palm branch, if you did not know, is a symbol of victory, triumph, peace, and eternal life originating in the ancient Near East and Mediterranean world. Since a victory signals an end to a conflict or a competition, the palm developed into a symbol of peace and a meaning it can have in Islam, where it is often, associated with paradise. Well, how about that? Again, I don't know if that has any reference to what this is right here, but you know what? I know symbolism is used quite a bit in life, especially in important situations. So maybe, just maybe, there is something going on behind the scenes where they're getting closer and closer to a negotiation. I mean, if you think about the fact that the SEC won't cough up the documents, I think at some point we're going to have to see an end to this thing now, aren't we? Now let's get on to price while we wait to find out on any information on the case that actually solidifies that idea. We look here, this is from the Joker, who really has a prediction of $14 incoming. I'm going to show you the chart right now. And we know that Dark Defender and others have called for like a $13 plus. This hits about the same price range. And he shows here with the fractal overlay where we could be in the near term here. Now that's pretty interesting right there. So then when I look at that, then I got excited because then I came up on this, and this was from Mark G. And I want to thank Mark G for this. And he does a layover here with the fractals and things of that nature. And if you take a look at the way he lays out these fibs here, it looks and shows that you could potentially, and obviously these are possibilities, it doesn't mean they're going to happen. None of this is financial advice from me or anyone else here on the channel that I cover. So we could see that $13 plus, right here in the near term. We could also see within the year 2022, you could see a plus $500 if it were to really have a situation that repeats or kind of rhymes with previous past history. Like if you look at this fractal here, you can see that that fractal was pulled from this move from 2018, which would take you from here back to here, right? So if you lay that over, this is where we would be over this time frame here. So we don't know that these things will happen, but these are certainly things to look out for, and understanding that the SEC fundamental news helps support the technical information or technical possibilities that we see on the charts, right? And the fundamental news is that the SEC is stalling. The SEC is investigated for 2.5 years and they're stalling. And they're stalling because they don't have a case. Not in the manner that they need to, at least. Right? And that's where we're at in this day. And in doing so, I do want to remind people of this great post from another technical expert out here, CoinsKid, who's remarkable. And he says, as outlined in yesterday's YouTube updates, patience is key in these volatile crypto markets. Think long-term gains, not short-term pains. Buy and go to the beach, he says. And you know what? I did exactly that, CoinsKid. I bought the dip and I went to the beach down in Miami. That's what we did. Yeah, and that's going to do it for me. Guys, before I get out of here, I do want to show you this right here. This is a global investor conference for Link2. It is coming up June 22nd at 11 a.m. through 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So make sure you check that out. That is going to be an incredible conference with a lot of important people there. You're going to get a lot of inside kind of understanding of what the people that are helping to build out this space are really investing in. So I encourage you to tune into that. And while I'm at it, I want to let you know that if you are an accredited investor, Zipline is going to be available starting today. That is the largest drone company on the planet. Make sure you check it out. That's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Share with somebody you know. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Make sure you check out the links in the description and comment box. They are trusted, vetted links. Be very careful what you click on out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch all of you on the next one.